Welcome back to another flight debrief. This time we're going to be flying in Bir Billing, India. In this flight I broke my personal best over 200 kilometer distance, averaging speed of 35 kilometers an hour. Here you can see me taking off towards Eastish on Bir Billing takeoff. Here's a visual representative of Velly flows around Bir and the convergence zones that forms based on these Velly flows towards the north extension for this flight. I went straight to the house thermal and made my way up to roughly 3,700 meters, avoiding a bunch of pilots. This is why I'm skipping between thermals to have less and less traffic, as Bir can be quite busy right in front of the takeoff. It was a beautiful day, one of the better days for Bir Billing, with a very high cloud base, roughly 5,000 meters, and really beautiful views. Here's I'm flying with some vultures, just topping up all the way to 3,700 meters or so. I decided to leave around this altitude, even though it was possible to go higher. I'm flying a Diva 2, so I have enough glide ratio to make the next connection, the first mountain range north of Bir Billing. I topped up there to roughly 4,000 meters, just to be higher to run the ridges for a bit. And as I got a bit closer to the deeper end, I always like to be at the cloud base here, because there are no real roads anymore, and if I do land out, it's a long walkout. That's why I usually top up all the way to the cloud base and stay at the cloud base to extend more north. You can see here how the valley flows move around here, creating this nice convergence zone, and I'm using that till the glacier to extend it north and turn back to go start my flight towards west. As I turn back, I'm having a little bit of a headwind. This is why I'm turning a bit more to climb all the way to the base. And here you can see flying through some clouds just to keep nice height. Before committing to the glide back towards the front ridges, I made sure I climb all the way to over 5,000 meters to have a nice extension back. Here you can see how the valley flows will come here. There's a estimate line that I wanted to do, which worked out really beautifully, flying through some clouds and avoiding being sucked in to connect to the front ridge, which is a roughly 4,000 meter high. And this whole range is a big straight convergence zone, and I just kept moving westerly, following it, topping out here and there just a bit to stay around 4,000 meter altitude. And you can see here how the valley flow comes towards the Himalayas, creating this nice convergence zone. I'm using it a bit more towards the flats, not all the way to the main mountain ranges, as I don't really like to fly close to terrain, and just a bit more southish. It worked quite well, so I didn't really need to hug the mountain ranges, and I flew quite fast all the way to Dharamshala. Just past Dharamshala, the mountain ranges start getting lower. As you can see here, it's a bit more stable, and this was kind of the last cloud before getting too stable, so I decided to just top this one up all the way to the cloud and start my way back. As you can see here in the video, it's a bit more too stable, and the next cloud is way far, and I didn't want to risk bumming out, extending it even more, so I start my way back towards east. As I'm heading back, I'm having a slight headwind, so I'm topping up a bit more than going westerly. Again, just staying at the cloud base and trying to estimate my lines so I arrive to the next cloud just as it starts, topping up a bit again, and keep heading towards Bir, back towards the takeoff. You can see here that the line is almost exactly the same as going west. I'm trying to use the same line to extend my flight. And this was an incredibly beautiful glide. I left it around 4,000 meters. It's about 23 kilometer glide, straight line. And once I passed Bir's takeoff, I topped up a bit again, just to arrive at these ridges high enough to use the dynamic. All this ridge range east from Bir is just a dynamic lift with some thermals, so you don't really need to turn. And I didn't. The only turn was this turn around here, and I made it straight flight all the way east, all the way back to Bir and landed. This is about a 50-kilometer flight without a single thermal. This east range works really, really good. This is where you really gain some speed, and I landed back in Bir. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, ask questions. I'm happy to answer as many as I can. Here's a few videos for you to check out. I'll see you in next one.